here, you gotta clap. You gotta clap for the people though.
I'm embarrassed now.
Last time was bad. He's back.
That's a 7.
We're fine. Okay, I'll say this. I'm pretty picky. You can ask my team.
Yeah.
Like they've called me particular.
We're talking about names, by the way.
Yeah. The second you said the name, I was like, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I thought
So-
while I was driving with Sylvia one day, she was screaming, and I was like, I don't know why. This came to me.
That's great. I have no edits, no notes. I think
Perfect.
the only question I had is, do we collab it? Because now you can collab
Yeah.
YouTube videos.
I don't think so.
Can you collab with more than one person?
Yeah, like up to 5 or something.
What about just the first episode? No?
I don't think so.
Pass.
I think just like,
We talked about not monetizing it.
well, it's not even not a monetization thing, because whichever the main channel is the one that gets the monetization. So if this channel isn't monetized, it won't be monetized
Oh,
by
I
the
see.
audiences
I see.
anyways. But I think it's not the same content that we make. It's a different audience. And so like some of our audience will go to it and it'll get served out to them, but it should find its own audience instead of us trying to push our audiences towards it, I think.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
there we go.
Yeah.
The last 6 months. Yeah, I just thought of it because it's literally exactly what this has been.
yeah.
And it's great because this is the last, at this point, 5 months. We're almost through the last 6 months of me living here. And then if we do ever reprise it, we can almost like try to reprise it every 6 months. Or if it's been like 12 months, then it's the last 12 months and it's just a little play on it. So
Clearly-
it's perfect.
Yeah, clearly I'm stoked about you moving. I will say I'm so happy we did this. This last month in particular was one of the top, if not the top, busiest months of Trash Panda for me
Wow.
ever. And I guarantee that life would have gotten in the way of us hanging out if we didn't do this.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy we
I
did.
barely wanted to come today with how much is going on.
Dude, Sam. Not well, I was already
I
here.
know. Well, I got here and you guys were still doing stuff and like
Yeah, you were late and I was still
stuff.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was more that like, yeah, it's just been, I know there's no question that after this we look back and we're just happy we did it because we both stay so busy. It would have been hard to keep up.
Mhm.
And yeah, at the beginning of this podcast, we got a bunch of videos in together and stuff like that. But it all slowly just like life gets busier.
Mhm.
And yeah. Speaking of videos we've gotten in together.
No, not speaking of videos we're getting into. Speaking of the busiest month of Trash Panda, you gotta walk me through that.
I think I always just underestimate the holiday use dish swap, 5 discs in 5 days, and holiday in general.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out my feelings about like Black Friday. This will come out after Black Friday, so that works nicely.
Yeah.
But I don't want to put a product on sale. The people who are here are working so hard every day and deserve MSRP, in my opinion. Like, and I'm not even talking about myself. The people who work here are putting in their everything. And I don't love sales and I wish we could just not do them. But then at the same time, so that's in one hand. In the other hand is I love recycled plastic and I think we need more recycled plastic in this sport.
Yeah.
And if that's what's going to do it, I'm all in. So it's a mix of, we're filming this the week before we release
5 days in 5 days.
holiday use to swap in 5 discs in 5 days.
Those are together.
Yeah. So 5 discs in 5 days exists to promote the holiday use disc swap. Every video is the intro screen is 5 disc or is holiday use disc swap. And it's all about that, which we filmed a video together that was fantastic.
I can't wait to watch it.
I haven't even sent it to you yet, and I have the final version ready to go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I will send it to you, of course. Quick break as you watch the video. No. So 5 discs in 5 days starts on Monday, and the disc swap officially launches on Sunday. So it's Sunday, then Monday,
The Sunday
through Friday.
before.
Yeah.
Cool.
So this Sunday, so 2-3 days from
Oh
now.
my gosh.
And then it's boom, 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 boom. You can't do that. Oh my gosh. You post daily videos
I don't own a
for
manufacturing.
100 days in a row, dude.
It was like 180, but I don't own a manufacturing company. It was 130 actually. That's a little aggressive, but I don't own a manufacturing company.
Yeah.
And I want to hear more about the holiday use disc swap because honestly, like, I feel like most people wouldn't know about it. I don't even really know much about like what you guys do to put it on because to me, it's like, oh, you just get some emails and you tell people to send this.
Yeah.
But the more I've talked to you, the more you've been like, dude, I've been working on this forever. This is the biggest thing we do all the time. I really want to hear more about it.
Well,
what it entails on the back end for you guys.
if my memory serves me correct, last year alone was 8,188 people in 25 different countries.
Wow.
So those registrations all come in, and it's cleaning, sorting, confirming the addresses are correct, email addresses aren't bouncing, and then making sure that the amount of .cons that come through, an N instead of an M, right? Like little things like that.
Yeah.
And that's something we can figure out.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing, like if you said Bodanza, but it was Bofanza.
No, Bonanza. That's what everyone calls me anyways.
Yeah. We wouldn't know. We would just have no idea.
Yeah.
So there's just like the sheer workload of how to sort and organize among countries or splitting countries into parts. Like we segment the US into multiple parts. So you're like, if you're in Seattle, you're not shipping to Florida. That doesn't make sense.
Do you try to like do that by like USPS first class shipping areas and like price ranges? So whatever those radii are?
No, we generally segment into like, when you look at it, it's more like a time zone type thing.
Gotcha.
And then beyond that, it's like the amount of like messages that come in that are concerns or questions, or the second we send out assignments, we start getting messages that are like, I haven't gotten my package. Like no one sent me anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, bro, they've had a day. And then they've had 2 days. And we realistically ask people to send it quick.
Yeah.
But it's like, we don't try to make it right until January because it's like, we got to give time. It's peak shipping for holidays and stuff like that. So if anyone's here who doesn't know, I don't even know if you know, do you know the inception of the disc swap?
No.
Okay. So literally one of the few ideas I had year one. So year one, before you've even heard of Trash Panda, maybe
definitely
2020. Yeah.
I hadn't heard of disc golf in 2020.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There we go. So 2020, I have an idea to make a disc out of recycled plastic in my garage. And I have an idea for like a used disc exchange because so many people have used discs just sitting at home. And like, I've tried a bunch of discs, and at that point I probably had like 20 used discs sitting at home, which is like a decent amount.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm never going to throw that disc, but I could send it to someone and they could send me something and I could try it and be like, whoa.
Yeah.
And how many discs I found over the years of playing before Trash Panda, so a decade plus, of it was a OfferUp or a Facebook Marketplace or a Craigslist lot. So it was like, a stack of discs, and I'd not heard of half of them, and I threw them and I was like, I love this disc now. That happened so many times that it was like, this swap could create that for people.
Yeah.
And so I thought 30 people would join. Like the goal was 30.
And then is this 2020 still, or is this
2020? Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
You did it immediately.
Oh yeah.
Man of action.
What's crazy though is it launched like December 7th, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like right up against holiday, like no time to get it in time for holiday, which is crazy. Now we launch like November 7th. This is way before then.
Yeah.
What will it be?
9th.
Yeah, something like that. So thought it would be 30 people. It was 330. And it was multiple countries, year one.
Oh, wow.
And
Which
so
were the other countries? Do you remember?
I think I only actually let people from Canada.
Okay.
So it was
That makes
just
sense.
US, Canada. And then we opened it up to Europe the next year. We opened it up to...
Oceania?
What?
Oceania after?
This is terrible.
Australia and New Zealand?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And then this year's global now. The way we do it is we just, if you're in a country, we make sure your participants that you're signed up with are in that country as well.
Hmm.
And if there's no one else, like last year we had Kazakhstan and other countries, which is crazy, that we've, we never imagined they'd be signing up.
I want
Actually,
to go play some cosmic disc golf.
I know. But what we'll do is we'll, like, for countries that have too few people, we'll just say, hey, you're just receiving this year, and then we send it out.
Cool.
We send it from our stashes, so that it's just like, hey, we get that you want to send something. We just don't, like, we're not going to ask you to send something to the US, but we'll pay to ship it to you.
Yeah.
Because that would be cool. So yeah, it was like 330 people, then 1,000. Then I don't remember every year how many it got to, but last year was over 8,000. And so this year we'll see if it's the biggest yet, but like
5 figures maybe.
yeah, it's just such a cool event, and all of Reddit gets kind of pissed off about it. And
Why?
it's just because everyone posts on Reddit. We've literally never told anyone to post on Reddit about it, and everyone posts on Reddit
Like,
about
oh,
it.
this is what I got.
Well, the problem is, so maybe 3 years ago, maybe 4, one of the mods from the subreddit told me that they stopped doing their swap. They did a used disc exchange, and they stopped because of ours, and just started telling people, just do that one. They're doing all the logistics.
Yeah.
If that doesn't tell you the logistics are a nightmare. So
Oh wait, we don't have to do this anymore.
yeah,
Go, go,
yeah.
go.
And I don't know if it was that, so no shame on them if it was that. Also, if it was that, no shame on them, because yeah. But they started pointing people to it, and then we've been like, I think that's why people post on Reddit so much about it, is because the Reddit swap kind of became the Trash Panda swap, so it just was like, do it. But yeah, it's just, I don't even know how to quantify the workload, and I don't even carry it on my back. It's Tom and Kelly. They carry it all on their back. Kelly gets, I don't even want to tell you how many emails come in. I can't even tell you because I don't know the answer.
Do you have a holiday used disc swap at Trash Panda email, or is it?
No, it's all through the main.
Why do you do that?
Well, we have a back-end system that's segmented. But like the info@trashpandadiscgolf.com email
Mm-hmm.
is just one, but then we segment behind.
Gotcha.
She has a background in customer service, and she chooses how it goes.
No idea how you
So-
segment that, but
Well, there's like a platform.
it's like CRMs.
Yeah,
that do that
we're
for you.
using a platform to
Yeah.
do that. So she has the background in it. She chooses how to do that. That's not my specialty. If I'm in charge, no one's getting a response to their email. Sorry, is what it is. But yeah, it's just been such a cool event, and so many companies sign up to sponsor, and all they have to do is a sponsorship. They pay us a little bit, and then they give away a raffle prize, like a cool raffle prize. And so
How does that work? Is that you guys ship it, like sending emails, hey, you want a raffle, and then they ship it out?
So every year until this year, it's been you participate just by signing up, you're entered to win a raffle prize.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's, if you submit tracking,
Gotcha. That's
you
good.
you're registered.
That's
Last
nice.
year we did, if you submit tracking, you double your raffle tickets.
Mm-hmm.
But this year we were like, okay, technically we should define participate as you actually shipped something. And so that's what we changed for this
Kazakhstan.
year. Well, we'll filter those out.
Sorry.
Yeah, we'll filter the ones that are like that out. But, and then what the sponsors ship directly from themselves. So they have the raffle prize, and then we just tell them an address to ship it to,
Sweet.
and they take
Yeah.
care of it. But yeah, it's a really cool event, and it's just so cool to see people get in the holiday spirit. People send packages every year that are insane. And
I got a really good one last year.
I know you made a video about it, and I was like, I've never gotten one good enough to
It
make
was
a video about.
Awesome.
I know it. One year, I got one brand new disc, and I was like,
This is not the point.
I'm never gonna. I now publicly have said that, but like, I never want to ever say anything. I don't care what I get. That's not why I do it. That's not why I'm a part of it. I care what I give, but like, it was just so funny one year to be the person who got. I did get, I don't think it was last year, but 2 years ago, someone sent me a really cool. They're like, I know you like weird discs, so here's some different things.
I think that's
exactly what you got last year.
Yeah, they knew it was me, and they sent me some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no one knows my last name. Yours is pretty iconic, so it works out.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens this year. I actually, speaking of like used discs, this point 6 months to a year or so, I'll like pull all the discs that I've like gotten sent, or ones that I've thought, oh, I'm gonna keep this, for reviews or whatever, and then I never end up using it. And typically I'll leave a lot of those on the shelves, but now that we're moving, I'm like, I don't want to move with a lot. And so I only am keeping like the discs that I know I'll use in future reviews.
Yeah.
And some custom discs. And I even like, so I have a first run pure from like when I first did custom stamps. And I had 2 of them, and I was like, I only need 1 of these. And so like even like down to that level, I just got rid of all my like sentimental or whatever discs, because I realized I would see them and I'd be like, wow, I'm glad I have this. And then I didn't care at all unless I actually saw it. So I'm like, I'm just giving them away. So I pulled out 319 discs that I'm going to be putting in mystery boxes. And that doesn't include about like, to be honest, probably about 60 or 70 that I'm going to be reviewing in the next month based off like some different videos. So I probably have like 75 disc mystery boxes, but I'm going to set a good chunk of like nice ones aside for the holiday disc swap as well.
Oh, I thought you were saying you're sending 319 to the person you get.
No, I'm going to make money on those, but I'm going to send them like 5 good discs. I'll send them one.
I'm totally joking. I'm totally kidding. Yeah, I know. That's awesome.
But yeah, there's just so many. And
it's so
same thing is I thought I was a collector, but I'm just not a collector kind of person. I don't care enough at all. I'd rather throw it, and if I don't like it, like someone else will enjoy it much more than me. And if I need it, frankly, I'm in a position I'll get the disc if I need the disc. So like I'm not worried about it at all.
Yeah. And you're in a position to, like, one cool thing from our perspective is to show up to a retailer and just buy a disc. Like, I'm here to support the sport.
I did that yesterday at Bad Habit Disc Golf local shop, because I thought I had an Athena, but I'd put them all in my previous mystery boxes earlier this year. And so I went and I just like talked to the guy for 20 minutes. Yeah. And it's sweet. Like I just love the community. And so it was good to be able to support them, buy an Athena. Every time that I walk out of the store with my receipt, I realize that they charge me less than the price that they put on the disc, which is cool, but also frustrating. But
well, so yeah, that brings up the quote that's like, if you, it's from like, I don't even know if it's a quote or just like a kind of thought process, which is like, if there's a company you want to support, isn't it this one? Like if there's a company you want to support, like so many people want the free thing from their friend who owns a company, but it's like, isn't that the company you want your money going to?
Yeah, definitely.
And I feel that way about disc golf. I don't know if we've talked about this yet in the podcast. I was speaking at the South Expo last year, Disc South. I'll forever say it should have been called the Texpo. And oh yeah, you were there too.
We were both there.
I remember.
I will disagree with you on the Texpo. I'll tell you that much.
Okay. You were dead at the Texpo.
Come on.
You were so tired. Not to be clear, not something people would have noticed, but I know you. And you were so tired. You'd been going.
Yeah, I mean, I flew in at midnight, and then I woke up and filmed with Jay Millie, and then the expo started, and then I went to Glow, and then I woke up, and then I filmed with Eric McKay, and I went to the... Yeah, those are crazy 2 days, but I was still very much trying to be like, well, I'm away from my family. Got to maximize every single second.
Totally.
And I did, but it was also brutal.
I feel like we're going to get to maximize every second in this conversation at a certain point.
I'm excited to get there.
In regard to...
Oh, God.
Yeah. But, so...
Texpo speaking.
Oh, I was speaking about disc golf manufacturing, and someone asked about prices. And they were like, why are disc golf prices going higher, and do you see them going down? And I was like, sorry, I'm not even going to answer your question. Here's what I will say. If you want your money going to a company, why not MVP? Why not Innova? Why not Prodigy? Why not Discraft? Like, why not these companies that are trying to make our sport better? Like, I can support the idea of not going to some knockoff company that's just trying to sell the cheapest price ever. But like, why not support these companies that are every day trying to make our sport better? I'm okay at $20. I'm okay at $25. I'm okay at $30 because I want to see this sport be better in the long run. Not everyone shares my ethos or thought process there.
No, I don't think I would even, honestly. I think there's I think there's like a give and take to it. I think it's hard when some pricing does seem a little bit insensible. Like, and most of the pricing is going to be like compared to the market. If someone's able to price something lower, and then even if it's not technically like the same plastic or sourced or whatever, if the quality is perceived to be similar and the price is pretty disparate, then it's going to be like, okay, what's this actually going to? I can see both sides, and it's kind of hard when there's disc golf small. Like, I could kind of see, I could see where you're coming from for sure, but I do think there's like an upper limit to it. Like $30 for a disc. I don't know what goes into the back end. That does seem like a lot to me right now. $25, it has to be a special disc. It's tough. I don't really know, because I think too, part of it is, I understand your ethos, but I think that ethos is also somewhat idealistic, where if a company used that ethos to price their disc, thinking their consumer base had that company's not going to be around to help disc golf anymore, because they're going to price themselves out of the market.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a give and take to it, which is pretty tough.
The balance there, though, is we have a race to the bottom in pricing. There will always be a race to the bottom as well. Yeah. So that balance, there will be a balance. I think, to me, it's like there are some companies who don't seem in it, and like all good for them. But like the companies that seem in it, I don't think like $35 for a disc right now or $40 is like just above where our market is at. But $25 is like understandable, and it's a disc. I got to take myself back to the disc golfer I was before. Like, it's a disc I'll use for 4-5 years. Yeah, I'll love it in the bag. It'll be like such a thing I'm so stoked about that it's like that price is nothing in the grand scheme of things. Yeah. Now, granted, I started playing when discs were premium, was like, I want to say it was like $7.99 on the shelf at a gas station. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. So that was, I don't know. I just, we don't need to talk more about that, because there will be ultimately a comment section on this conversation. Yeah. And I don't share my thoughts publicly on that a lot, but at the end of the day, I just think, is it idealistic? Absolutely. You're sitting in the most idealistic warehouse in disc golf. Every day we do stuff that just makes no sense, because I believe in this thing versus that thing, which is like I gave a tour today to someone that was just like talking about how here's 50 pounds of plastic that we'll never get again, and this is it, and we will figure out how to recycle this. And here's a Vibram disc that's cracked in half that literally we cannot grind and put into our machine because it will not melt back down.
That was my disc.
But we will, exactly. But we will figure out how to recycle that. Like, I never said I wasn't an idealist.
No.
So
no, I think that makes sense. And I think that there will always be there's always value in the arbitrage of like you thinking that, and then someone else finding, oh, but people will buy this for this. And I think I think really what your ethos comes down to, that I can 100% agree with, is finding the people who have the same values as you and putting your money towards those people, and also holding them accountable to it. Like if Trash Panda comes out with a disc that is 85% recycled, your audience is going to hold you accountable to that.
Yeah, 100%.
And so it's about, okay, you say that you want to do this, and I've experienced that, and then you're stepping out of line from it, and the audience, the consumer base, I think should put them back in alignment with it. And I think that ideally that is what happens. And so that's where I think I can fully agree with what you're saying is like, put your money behind things that you believe in.
Yeah.
And then if they stop doing what you believe in, don't put your money behind it anymore, and like tell them why. And I think that's where like the better people in disc golf, the better companies are doing things.
I'm a millennial, man. Gotta just put the money where like I want to walk the walk, not just talk the talk. Like at the end of the day, like I still think Trash Panda is built so much on just how we just don't know any better, but we've got a bar that we're going for, and it's like, we're just going to send it. We're going to keep going towards that bar. Yeah. So,
yeah. Let's talk 5 discs in 5 days. So you got the holiday swap on Sunday, and then 5 discs in 5 days. You didn't make those 5 discs in 5 actual days, did you?
No. I mean,
well, not in 5 consecutive days.
Yeah.
Because of the videos.
I did it in 5 consecutive days, year 2. I did it in 2021, and it was
2021.
Yeah, and it was in my garage, and it was disconnected from the disc swap. Last year was the 5th annual disc swap. So we brought 5 discs in 5 days back for that.
So that was the first time since 2020.
Yes.
One.
This
Okay.
year makes it annual. And basically last year was just like, we want to get eyeballs on the disc swap because it's a free thing that's valuable to people in disc golf.
Yeah.
So how can we promote it? Utilizing our YouTube channel. And we did 5 discs in 5 days. And it was so fun. It was such a cool outlet to test weird stuff. So we just tested some weird stuff again this year. As you know, we made the lightest disc, still that I've ever heard of, like 114 grams.
Yeah.
It's so fun to throw.
It's crazy.
I'm like, yeah, we did some really cool things. We also challenged ourselves and did some things maybe that were too hard to do for 5 discs in 5 days. Like launching a new mold. The outer core just almost killed me. You asked about October. The outer core just, every problem it could pose, it posed, and it just kept going. It was incessant. But
Problems?
oh yeah. But
Which ones?
the mold, the water lines, which should never be a problem.
Water lines.
Water
Is that
lines.
for cooling?
Yeah, cooling the mold, like with the
Huh.
water. Everything. Everything.
Did anything go right with it?
It's here now.
I felt it in the lobby.
Yeah. It was like, it was cool because it's something we've talked about since the inner core. Literally day one of inner core, the second we named it inner core, I was like, there will be an outer core and it will be a beaded inner core.
Yeah.
So it's literally just the inner core with a bead attached to it. There's nothing about the profile that's changed.
Mhm.
The mold uses the same top half as the inner core,
Cool.
literal same mold
Yeah.
piece. So, nothing goes right, nothing goes wrong, everything goes wrong, but everything going wrong is going right. That's part of what we like to do. And like, we tell the story behind it and stuff. And I don't know. Yeah.
Was this the first? So I saw on Instagram somewhere that you were doing some machining. Was that on this mold or was that on the Canyon?
That was on this mold. Yeah.
Is this
that
the
was
first
for
time that you've done machining on your own molds?
That was the first time I cut into the inner core mold frame,
Oh my!
which I was
How
very nervous.
terrifying was that?
I just didn't let myself think about it. Luckily it was like one of those things that was like, the thing that would go the most wrong is that like the bit would break and shoot off and hit me or something. So like, it wasn't that the mold would be damaged.
Okay,
But-
that's good. Is that because the mold is like a stronger metal than the bit?
Yeah, I just wasn't cutting in like a precarious place, like a structural or
Gotcha.
anything like that. But yeah, that was not exciting by any means. I
What
mean,
were
it
you
was
fixing on-
exciting.
What were you fixing on it that you had to do machining? yourself?
So we made that mold
Mhm.
through our manufacturer that
Yep.
we first started making discs with, the inner core.
Mm.
And we use it
okay.
as a family frame now. So we make other molds inside that frame. So like the Canyon inserts go into the inner core frame.
Okay.
And the outer core.
So the frame is just like a square, and then you can put different molds inside it.
Sure,
like a picture
yeah.
frame kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Okay.
So the outer core was always going to go into that too because we use the same top.
Cool.
And the top goes into that frame, obviously. And so what we learned, basically the main thing we learned is that we were operating off of a 3D model that wasn't perfectly accurate. And everything else had made it seem like it was perfectly accurate. So there was one thing that was cut just not perfectly, and it meant I spent a weekend slowly cutting away at it. But it's fine. We're here now, and
Are you happy with how the molds come out?
so okay. I probably won't say this anywhere else. I don't care about the outer core at all.
What?
The inner core is my favorite disc of all time. Make
And
a
this isn't-
change. Make a change to my favorite disc of all time. I don't care. And we've always talked about it. This is just authentic. Like the first time I held it, I was like, "I'll take an inner core. Like I'm good. I'll just go back to the."
You
inner
don't
core."
like? Is it like just like a stable but
I-
slidey putter?
I
Have you
like
thrown it.
I like that it's different, and it's more different than I expected it to be.
So if you don't
Not
care,
just in
have you
feel.
even thrown it?
I have thrown.
Okay, thank goodness.
You have not thrown it yet, so I'm not gonna say too much right now.
It
Because-
feels like a mix between a P2X and a PX3. Prodigy and Discmania molds. It feels like it's gonna be 3403 kind of disc.
Mixing, like just telling me how it feels by mixing two manufacturers who use the P3 or the P2
The P and an X
is
number.
diabolical, bro. Yeah,
I
that was so hard to follow. I didn't follow it, to be honest. One of them's Prodigy, one of them's Discmania.
Yeah.
It's deeper, it's got a bead, and it flies different.
Still Super Glide.
I thought it would fly the exact same.
What? This is why you make this and I review them.
I'll tell you after you throw it. I just don't want to. Oh, actually, I'll tell you this before you throw it. It is like, let me show you.
That's a crazy statement that you
Dude,
think you think it'd fly the
It's
same.
so similar to. It's so seriously so similar in design to the inner core.
Yeah.
The added bead.
And then it's got a bead on it.
No, but look, the bead
I don't need to look. I felt it.
is mostly just the inner core still. It feels like that bead is bumped down way
It
further,
does.
right?
Yeah. Huh. That's crazy though. I mean, I felt it. Nice. Yeah, that's a crazy statement to me though. That you think it wouldn't fly any different. I can kind of understand that, but there's no I can't think of a beaded putter that flies like the inner core is. The only thing that's even relatively close is like Innova Mirage, and that's crazy flippy because it's such a slim profile.
But the bead,
a bead has
adding-
always made something more overstable, in my opinion.
that's not how it works.
Why? Why not then?
Because I could reduce the parting line height and add a bead.
Mhm.
Technically, adding a bead
But
is
if you-
adding mass to the outer rim.
Uh-huh.
And then if you add it in like a height profile, you're then increasing the parting line height.
Which would make it more overstable.
But I can make other design changes to say,
Yeah, I'm saying though, like, you said you
Not
didn't change
changing-
anything, and then you added the bead.
yeah,
Is there anything that you could not change and add a bead and it won't make it more overstable?
you could put the bead on top of the
The Rudolph Red-Nosed Reindeer disc.
It's just got a wart around it.
It's honestly not a bad disc name, the Wart. Not for trash band.
I'm not gonna say
Maybe
the
I
wart's
start
a
a
good
brand.
name.
Maybe I start a brand based off of
Just the
medical anomalies or something. I don't know.
we've talked about. Okay, so here let's summarize all of why December was crazy for me, because
Because we're not even there yet.
sorry, October. That's how tired I am. Because
That's how crazy it was. It was
yes,
almost that.
yeah, because everything that I had a plan and it didn't go to plan,
Yeah.
and I feel like you know something about that
Yeah.
we should talk about in terms of things not going to plan.
Yeah, so I think around this time, we'll make sure this comes out afterwards, but I was talking to Jesse because I was thinking there's been something I've wanted to do for a long time since living here. The second most popular course in America is right down the road from us, Johnny Roberts Disc Golf Course. It's our pitch and putt here.
And
Jesse was
I'm
letting me
gonna
know-
I'm gonna keep spreading misinformation, or it's accurate. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's because of weather.
Yeah, I think that's what you're saying because
Yeah.
the other one's in San Diego.
Yeah,
The
so
most popular.
we have snow here, so it's not going to be the first busiest, but otherwise, I think it might be the first. Like, I think it might be the top.
Yeah, that's super interesting. And it's super busy. And I want to try to ace every hole. And I want to make a video. I aced every hole in 24 hours. At like the world. I was going to figure out the title along the way, but it's something like that.
At the second busiest course in the U.S.
Terrified, but I was gonna figure it out. Something much more relatable, like at my local pitch and putt or something. But I went there on a Friday that my mother-in-law came to town, and my wife, my daughter, and she went to Moab, which is about a 5.5 hour drive, and they were going there Friday morning and getting back on Sunday. And I was like, this is the only time I can try this. I'm gonna give myself 24 hours. I'm gonna go try to ace everything. And so I got to Johnny Roberts at like 10:15 in the morning. And I set a 24-hour timer, and this is all on this video. And then I started trying to ace, and everything started going really well. I got the first hole in 4 minutes, and kind of to make it a Colorado thing, this disc right here in the middle is one of the inner cores from the run, which I don't think they're probably sold out or something by now, but we ran them through Infinite because per my contract. Honestly, there's nothing about direct to consumer from a manufacturer. It's only about
Yeah,
retailers in the contract, but just to make sure that everything is like good, and because I like Infinite a lot and want to make sure that we're respecting it. This is like the disc that we did through them. And you had a run of Metal Flake that you said you'd done Metal Flake before, but only for Patreon, and then you did it and it didn't work, and somehow it worked this time. You got to talk about that.
Yeah, Kyle tried to make the Metal Flake Baja inner core, which he also completely messed up and ground some glow in there so they glow a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, don't know how that happened, but if anyone knows the story of Baja, then it's even better that that happened. Whatever. Why are we drinking beer while we're doing this? I'm just gonna burp.
Hey, you brought him out, brother.
So that was, he had tried them once. The best thing about being a recycling company is when we try something and it doesn't work, grind it back up, try it again, and he figured out how to make it work. And so it was, Metal Flake, Baja, Glow. I'm starting to feel like all the other manufacturers who say so many words in their plastic, and
Seriously.
I'm not that person, but yeah, for our people who know.
Yeah, they call it I called it Quarter Glow in the video, and then
Nice.
I was talking to Jesse, and he's like, "Yeah, call it Kyle Glow," because he just messed it up. So it's Kyle Glow officially.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
I don't remember saying that.
I think I tried to get it on FaceTime, but it was connected to my car, so the audio didn't come through. So I have no
Can't
actual
verify.
proof.
I didn't say that.
But Kyle, he said that for sure.
Definitely didn't say that.
So I went there and I brought like this clipboard. I stuck one of the MVP pods, like the thing that they make for their putters. I took that off of the pole and stuck it on top of one of my disc carts.
Dude,
It's a pretty slick setup.
super pro.
It's honestly pretty sick.
Have you called Joseph to tell him about that?
No.
Dude, you should tell him you have an idea that he needs to pay you for, because it really was well done.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. It's still in my garage right now because, spoiler, I guess, I didn't end up getting all of the holes in, 18 holes in 24 hours. I thought it'd be possible. Kind of got a hiccup in that I got the first hole in 4 minutes, but being the second most popular course in America, and Friday, and
it was
that
you went
beautiful.
on Friday, yeah.
And it was like the only time I could have, so I wanted to at least try. No, I'm burping because you said it, but
Yeah.
But I got the hole 2, and it's a little bit longer, and I was struggling for so much. I ended up throwing over 200 shots on hole 2, but I had also let 90-something people play through in the first 3 hours. And so I think overall, in the time that I was there, I let over 350-something people play through. I have all the stats. If you've seen the video, you know it. Which, if you just assume 1 minute per person, which is probably a little generous, but groups are averaging like 1.5, 1.9 people probably, and they're taking 2 to 3 minutes per hole. So that's 6 hours of waiting right there.
I think on the hole we were on, it was more than 1 minute per person.
100%. Hole
Yeah.
5, yeah.
So
I ended up getting hole 2 in like 3 hours or something crazy, and then I got hole 3 for him, and I got holes 3 and 4 in like 20 minutes, pretty much, or 20 to 40 minutes back to back, both forehands, and then it was hole 5, which I knew that this would be. I learned a lot through this process, and a lot that I've learned in hindsight of this process of trying this. But I was like, okay, I'm going to do it in order because that's cool. It's like a good story. You're doing it in order. And so I went to hole 5, and then I ended up spending 6 hours on hole 5 until it got dark, and Glow, which is a Friday night thing here, came, and I was like, I got to go get some food. And so Jesse came during that time. We hit metal once on it, but hole 5 is like a 220-foot turnover that's pretty specific. You got to go over some trees, and it's blind. So he was trying to guide me to the basket. We got a lot of really close calls, but I didn't end up acing it. And so I went and got dinner. I went to Panda Express, rested for a couple hours. At this point, pretty early on, the pulley on my finger, my index finger, where you grip into the disc, it still actually is hurting me.
really,
I strained it for sure. It's gonna take 4 to 6 weeks from when I did it. It's gotten better, but every time I would go and film, like I redo it a little bit.
so by the time you go get dinner, how many shots have you thrown?
Honestly, I haven't even tallied it up, but I would guess 15 to 1800.
Just by the time you got to dinner?
No, maybe 6. No, not that many. That's the first one.
Well, hole 2 was 200 shots.
Plus 200, probably another 100, and then another 250 or 3 on hole 5. So probably about 500 shots, 600 shots in the first. And that's 8 hours in-ish. About 8 hours.
So many shots.
Yeah. And so I go and get dinner, and then I was talking to Jesse, and my plan was initially to do this in 24 hours. And like I couldn't leave unless I do it. And then I was talking to my office, like I should just let myself go home and sleep if I need to. But I got back to the course.
Then you got your second win, bro.
Yeah, I got back to the course after glow. I got a coffee actually. I got back to the course and ended up on hole 7 because hole 5 is that turnover. Hole 6 is the longest hole in the course, about 275 feet. So I just get
hole 5 would be the hardest.
Definitely.
Hole 6 would be the second hardest in terms of just
pretty
distance.
close. Yeah, 6 in terms of distance. I think there might be 1 or 2 that might be a touch harder in terms of shape. But I went to hole 7 after glow. So this is like after 85 people have played a glow round of Johnny Roberts. There's actually after glow dubs. So there were 2 more groups of people who are still on the course who played through, and they were a blast. And but I brought my own lights, put them on the basket. I brought a light for myself on the tee pad, and I have this footage, and I'm trying to get every hole in 24 hours. And so I get hole 7 in maybe 45 minutes, and I get hole 8. It's like pitch black. That's a pretty cool shot because the inner cores do glow a little bit, but I had such a bright glow on me that you could see it out of my hand for a little, and then you couldn't see it, and then you just see it crash into the chains because of the light that I had on there.
Yeah.
So those are going to be some pretty cool ones to watch. I got 8, I got 9, then I went to 10, and there's a river to the left of 10, and I tried to get it for an hour and a half. On some crazy forehands, hit metal a bunch of times. Ended up skipping that one and going to or that was 11. Ended up going to hole 12, got 12, and then this is where like definitely the start. It's probably 1 a.m., 1:30 at this point, and I was like, I mean, I can either drive the 30 minutes home, sleep for 4 to 6 hours, and come back, but I'm already so dead. Like just getting back to the course, I already wasn't throwing the same. Like my hips are really sore. My tricep is killing me. Like it's just such a grind at this point. I'm like, I'm just going to throw shots at baskets until I make them. So I get 3 more. I get 2 more. I get hole 14 and hole 16. And after hole 16, it's 3:20 a.m., 3:30 a.m. I got hole 18, which is a turnover, 190, 210 feet somewhere in there. And I just can't turn the disc over. I try some forehands. I like hit metal a bunch of times. I thought I made it, and it gets to be 6 o'clock ish. The light starts coming out. It's like I just need to go get some coffee, and I'll come back and I'll finish up. And so I go to this coffee shop, and I get to the parking lot, and I like can't bring myself to get out of the car. I was so tired, and so I'm like, I'm not gonna trust this. And I like drove home, and I'm glad I did because like I was like 99% of the way to too sleepy to drive home already, 21 hours in. And I get home and I basically sleep all day Saturday. Jesse thinks I'm dead because I
tried to call you at like a very normal time.
Yeah.
I think it was like 11 a.m. and you didn't answer. And I was like, oh no.
No, I was asleep until like 2 or 3. And then I went to bed at 8. And so I just like, it was, and then Sunday I chill for the most part. I don't throw anything until like Tuesday or something like that. And so I only end up getting 10 holes. And I learned a lot during that process. And a lot that I've still like, I think I'm still coming to grips with. And it's one of those things that you do that I've done a few of these and I want to do more of them. Like just an event or something that I try that I don't know if it's possible. And I want to see what happens on the other side. I feel like that's where the best stories come in because as of right now, I've only aced those 10 holes for this video, but the video is going to be me acing every single hole. And it's such I think the story is almost better. Like, I think it'd be more impressive to go and just like rip through it and get them all done. Like, that'd be super impressive. But I think it's a more relatable and more honest story, especially for how my life has kind of been this year. Even how I'm sure I haven't listened to it, but from the first podcast episode of this one, there's been so much change in these 4 or 5 months. And what happened at Johnny Roberts for those 24 hours is fun for me because I wasn't frustrated by people playing through. I just kind of knew that was what was going to happen. And it was a little like, it stunk that I couldn't throw as much as I wanted to, but I was able to talk to so many people there, and you were able to talk to so many people there. I was able to like push myself physically and mentally like past points that I like didn't think I could get to. It got down to like 39 or 40 degrees at night, and I was just throwing shots. And in order to make sure I had enough battery, I was charging my battery in my car, and so I'd have to turn on my car with my remote start, and then it wouldn't like start after 2 times because it's bad for the environment or something. And so I ended up having to go and restart my car, and I'd get in this car that I had on full seat warmers in 85-degree heat, and I just get in there and then pop out in 15 seconds. And it's just like, I just can't let myself sit in this anymore. And it really stinks to not do the thing that I wanted to do in that time frame. But it also is fun because I know that I'll be able to go back there and knock off those holes. I'm going to go and get the easy ones first and take my time. Like I have a month now, probably about before I leave. I want to get hole 5 with you at the very end of the video, and that kind of be the capstone because that's kind of the big bad guy. Hole 5 is a character now in this video for sure.
We'll set aside 48 hours to do that.
It'll be nice that I'll be able to try to do it more fresh.
Hey,
Sure.
hear me out.
Yeah.
Maybe not like on a Friday. Maybe not on like the busiest day ever.
Yeah. And yeah, it was one of those things that I'm also glad speaking of like doing it on a Friday, I'm also glad I did it on a Friday, because if I didn't start it that day, I would not have done it at all.
Yeah.
Because Friday was better than Saturday. And like my wife works, I work, I watch my daughter 35-ish hours a week. She watches her the other 20 during the work week, 25. And we don't really have people that come and like help us all the time. And so that was the only time I was going to be able to do it. And so I'm like glad that I even went and tried. And now I've started something that I can go and finish, even if it's not in the timetable that I wanted to. And that's how so much of this year has been. It's like, it's not what I thought, but it will end up being good. And maybe I don't even get all the holes. Like I'm kind of counting on it. Like I think I'm going to, but maybe it doesn't happen and I figure out a different way for this video. But I think I'm going to, over the next month or so, go back and knock off those holes, starting with the easier ones and kind of ending with 10, 13, 6, and 5. And yeah, it was tough, but I'm glad that I tried to do it in the time frame that I did, and I'm not, surprisingly to me, and I think if it was the me of the first couple episodes of the podcast, it would be a different story, but I'm not disappointed in how it ended up being, because I realized so much of like, I don't want or need to be impressive with these things. I want to like build a community and a place that people who like disc golf can come and enjoy content that makes them like want to get outside more and do it, and also is relatable and has some applications to life. And I feel like that's exactly what this video is, even if it's not what I wanted.
Dude, I feel like from the outside looking in, it was a microcosm of your year. Like genuinely, it was exactly what your year has been, which is like, I made a very good plan and then it didn't go to plan. And I mean, I called you on Friday morning.
Yeah.
I had just landed back in Denver and I called
One of the
you.
most cool convention ever.
Yeah, super cool. Super cool.
Put stuff on other stuff.
How to print materials onto materials convention. And I had gotten back, landed, called you. You were like, I just got here. I'm setting up, getting ready to go. And I said, great, I'll see you on hole 5. And I knew I was going to be there like hours later. And when I got there, you had just gotten to hole 5, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And then you spent 6 hours there and still didn't get it, which is crazy. But like, yeah, I'm happy about your perspective with it, because it's not been like, oh, I'm disappointed, where the KC wide version of you was disappointed by it.
Yeah.
Right. Or this version of you is like, why can't it go to plan?
Yeah.
And like just trying to grit through it. And it's like, no, go home, get some rest.
Yeah.
Chill. Like maybe call Jesse back to let him know you're alive, and then get back to it. And like, that's relatable for all of us, because that's life.
Yeah. I think I was definitely disappointed for a while, because I was disappointed in how it finished, because I wanted to be there at the 24 hours.
It's not finished.
Well, no, I wanted to be at the course at the 24-hour finish point, regardless of what happened. And so I was disappointed that,
like, if you finish in 6 hours, you were going to be there at 24-hour mark?
No. If I finished, I meant like when I realized it was impossible to finish.
Oh.
I wanted to be at the course at 10:15 to be like, oh, 24 hours is up. I tried and like I was like, man, I really did my best for the 24 hours.
Yeah.
And it felt to me like leaving at 21 and change.
Yeah.
Wasn't like doing my best and trying it for 24 hours. But then like literally knocking out when I got home without even being able to shower is just like, yeah, like I'm glad that I left when I did. And then I just slept like the whole entire day basically. And it's I think that coupled with it not being over, is like really synthesizing an idea towards the end of Daniel Kahneman's Thinking Fast and Slow, which is the idea of the peak end rule. Are you aware of this?
Remind me.
So the peak end rule basically says that, so we have like two ways that we have our experiencing self, which is like right now we are experiencing this, and whatever we think and feel right now is not what we are going to think and feel that we thought and felt in the moment tomorrow. Because we have our experiencing self and our remembering self. And our remembering self, when it thinks about something that has happened, like the peak end rule is basically that whatever the peak emotion was and the end emotion, you average those two, and that is how it was. So you could have had a great experience, and then it ends on something terrible, and the whole experience is tainted about it.
Yeah.
Similarly, though, like you could have a really bad relationship with somebody, and then you make up later, and then the whole relationship is now painted in a different light.
Totally.
And so it's exactly what happened here. Like I was really sad because the end of this time wasn't what I had expected, even though I knew I wasn't going to finish. Like in the time period allotted, I was disappointed in myself that I like didn't stay for the whole time. But looking back on it now, as I get further away and know that I can go back and finish it, I think like that end being a changing end is changing that experience for me, knowing that I can go and do it. But it was definitely there were some highlights and there were some lowlights, and I'm glad that I at least got like half of them done in 24 hours or 21 hours, and that I tried it. And I know that I'll be able to go and finish it. And I know that now, honestly, the story that I'll be able to tell is a more true story to like who I am. Because I think it also, this was a little microcosm, not only of what you explained about my year, but I think also of the inside personal change that I've had happen where I don't know exactly how I came to these conclusions, but like for a while, I thought that it was important for me to like be impressive. And like, I would have to like be the most impressive version of myself and just like, instead of like focusing on relatability and like, I think a podcast episode a while back, or maybe it was just us talking, was just like, I was telling you about how like I had gotten some comments before of like, oh, I'm less relatable now that I throw farther. And I think I'd realized that I don't think it was that I threw farther. I think it's the way that I talked about throwing farther. It was like I would think that I was like big shit because of whatever. And like, I would like try to impress myself and be impressive. And like, that was what was important, instead of like fostering a solid like community and like being relatable. And like inspiration and impressiveness are like two almost mutually exclusive things. Like they're not, but in the way that you present them. If I want to inspire, I shouldn't want to impress kind of thing. And so I think that I was focusing on wanting to impress, and that's a part that wasn't the driving force of this video. But if I can do this in 24 hours, ace every single hole, that's a really impressive feat. And like that's really cool. And to not have it happen, and to have to be like, man, this took me an extra month and a half, and maybe I don't even get it done. The story that I'll be able to tell from that is the one that is like the story of how I've changed throughout this year, which is really just trying to like be my best self for myself and my family. And like, not even my best self. I like the idea of like pursuing better, not best. Like I'm just trying to get better. And it's like, I didn't do it this time. And I think it's a type of challenge that crazy enough, want to try again. And like at a different place, or maybe even at the same place, and see what happens. Because the being more removed from it, the learnings and the takeaways that I have from just like putting yourself in those kind of incubator experiences, just about who I am and like who I can be, I think are huge. And some of it I can't even, will be in the video that I can't articulate too much here, but I know like I'll learn more about it as I continue to look back on it. And I also know that it's not impressive, but it's real and not even relatable, but just real. Like, trying to focus on being impressive has led me sometimes to like not share the like really bad parts, or even like the semi-negatives, or try to like spin things in a way that like makes it seem more impressive, even if it's just mundane or like even bad. And so I think trying to be more real in the things that I do, not only for an audience, but also just like for yourself, like instead of making myself believe that this thing was good, allowing it to be what it is, and then just continue to move on from it. Like, especially this year, like this year has not been ideal from a like work, life, whatever perspective, but it's been really real. And I've learned a lot in it. And I think it's those takeaways where it's like,
for sure,
it is the good and the bad. And that's exactly what this has kind of showed.
I feel like maybe because we're sitting in my warehouse, but like
I think our warehouse, you want to get me? Well, actually, I don't know how much the mortgage is.
I feel like the fact that we're here just reminds me like how many problems we talk about that we deal with in manufacturing, that like I know Brad and Chad at MVP, and like I know these other people who are watching these videos who are saying like, oh man, he's dealing with that problem, but like I don't let myself think about that, because at the end of the day, at one point, Brad and Chad were going through the same thing, right? And like that's a real thing. That's like, I'd rather be relatable in the sense that it's like, no, we're dealing with this, and like, yeah, this month with the outer core, kind of put me through the ringer. Oh, the 3D model we had wasn't accurate to the real thing. okay, we also didn't validate that the real thing was accurate to the 3D model, and we could have beforehand.
Yeah.
Or like there's certain things you look at in hindsight and you're like, dude, I could have learned all these things. Like I'm sure you have thought about the challenge, and if you skipped hole 5, you'd have gotten 16 holes.
Yeah,
in
I mean,
that amount of
I
time.
had people being like literally on hole 2, and I was there for a while, and they played through me for the second or third time. They're like, yeah, like this one guy was like, yeah, dude, like I play video games a lot, and like if I'm stuck, I just go and try something else. I was like, no, dude, I have to do it in order.
Yeah.
It's like that type of stubbornness is like,
Did Mark Rober play through?
that's like a real like part of
Yeah.
like how I've interacted with things, and this challenge is like it's made me want to rethink that more, to think again about that, where it's like, yeah, maybe I should have. Like, instead of just being like, no, I'm just going to do this, and then, like, trying to move on to the next thing, like, take a second thought at that. It's like, yeah, what if I do? Like, what does it change in the story of me trying to ace every hole if I skip the harder ones and get to them last?
Totally.
Not a lot, but it changed a lot with how I was, and I think experientially learning that was important. I think, too, what you said about the Brad and Chat thing, I feel very similar to you in that this is how it seemed to me, and this can completely be not true, but I'm going to speak based on how it seemed to me, was the way that you said, like, oh yeah, like if Brad and Chad watching your videos and they're like, oh, he's dealing with that. That's how I've thought a lot of times about like how other people who are either ahead of me or like I look up to would be thinking about like the things that I'm doing. But I recently tried to start like adopting more of like a most generous interpretation. Like what's the most generous interpretation of like what they be thinking? And when I come up with that is them being like, oh man, I remember when that was us.
I remember
and, like,
when we went through that. Yeah.
And I think it's just like
learned
trying
that
to
lesson.
think like what is. And that's likely more real. Because like if I saw someone who was doing the same thing like in YouTube and they were much earlier on in the journey, I'd be like, dude, I remember when I did that exact same thing and thought that this would work. And it's like, I think it's kind of silly now, but like my thought is on like, oh dude, I remember when I was doing that too, kind of deal.
For sure.
Yeah.
When Chad and I met in person at the Texas Expo, the Dis South.
Yeah.
I think they call it Dis South.
I've heard other right, so I don't know.
When we met, it was like he was that person. He was the person who was like, dude, when you're going through something, just call, like, let me know, like we can give you advice or whatever. We've been there, we've been through it. And so I'm sure they're watching it with that mindset. Yeah. But you know, there's the insecurity and stuff. And I'm just like, at the end of the day, we're all learning, we're all trying things, we're all trying new things. And I'm like, I just don't let the insecurity be the loudest voice, because it's like, I'd rather share this and look like a noob, because guess what? I am. Yeah. Like, we don't know what we're doing. This is totally new. Like this is, and actually no one knows what we're doing, because no one's done this before. Yeah. No one has exclusively from day one made a disc golf disc out of 100% recycled plastic. And this is like, are there lessons we could learn from other manufacturers? 100%. But like, we're still learning things that also are just like unknowns too. So yeah, I feel like the video for you was, I feel like you're going to look back on the video and your time in Colorado and kind of have similar, you know, lessons that they take you through the rest of life. And I feel like I'm going to look back on certain things. Like I look at October. You asked me why October was so crazy. It was because of decisions I made in August and July and June and May. It wasn't because of October. It was because I didn't say no to things before then. It was because I set us up for failure before then, right? And so I don't know. I think I'm looking at it going, we're just going to look back on this and like, we are the thing, you and I, the Venn diagram for us is like always improving. Yeah. Like you said, better, not best. Yeah. Like I'm not looking to be best. I'm just looking for tomorrow to be better than it was today. And then the next day to be better than the day before. Yeah. So
I think that makes sense. I think the exact thing that you said that resonated with me was kind of along the lines of like, you want to put it out, even if you look like a noob, because you are. And that's something that I felt that I want to like stray away from, because as I got like, my channel got bigger and I was like, oh, I've reviewed this and I've gotten better at disc golf. You feel like or at least I feel like, I won't speak in generalities, I felt like when you get to that point, or like this person who's at this point doesn't do this, and it's like your own interpretation or like what you see from a very limited view of people who are at that stage who are also different than you or aren't actually in the exact same stage, because it's all contextual and different. But in my head it was like, okay, well, if I can do this or have done this or I'm this rated or this size channel, it's like, then I don't do this, or a person who is that size doesn't do this.
Yeah.
And it's such a fixed way to think about it versus like, let's just share what's real right now. And like, maybe I do look like a noob, but also like the people that I would like want to be following me like on my channel, or the people that like I want to be a part of my community, are not the people who are going to be looking down on that,
Totally.
like, and sneering at it. They're going to be like, oh, either I was there, or that's so funny, I thought the same thing, or like those are the types of people that
Yes.
realistically are going to be there. But it's easy, exactly like you said, to be in that insecurity of, no, man, this person doesn't do that. Like, I'm at this level and people at this level don't do that. And that type of thinking is just so fixed, because it's like, yeah, you could be at that level and maybe other people don't, but like maybe you do, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And like, that's trying to like just be more real with myself, not even the content. I've always been very authentic, like in my content and stuff, but I feel like there's been things that it's always authentic to me. And if the me is too insecure to share it even in myself, it's not going to be shared with the audience kind of deal. So,
And then you don't share the positive things. Like, did I share last time how many starter sets we sold to REI?
So like 12 initially.
Yeah, I shared that in the episode though.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we sold 12. You know how many parts of me don't want to share that, because it's like, no, we sold to REI. I don't need to tell you how many, because then it seems like a cool thing. But it's like, no, it's so real. Like, we started in a garage. Who cares how many we sold? And it's just this REI. Like, whatever. You don't share the cool things too, and it's and this REI buying 12 starter sets has only been possible because of all the people who have been here since day one.
Yeah.
And like who have showed up and continued to support, because we couldn't still be here. We couldn't be paying for this. We couldn't be doing this without that. And so then you miss the cool things too.
Yeah.
And we're talking, I feel like that's helpful. In the context of this, we're talking about kind of the things that don't go to plan.
Yeah.
But there's things that do go to plan. They're just not as big as
100%.
like,
And I think that's the insidiousness of like the insecurity, is that it gives half truths. Like, it's like, oh yeah, dude, we're at REI now. Don't ask me how many.
Yeah.
You know, like that's where the insecurity is. It's like,
you threw 500 feet, but it was only 501. It's like, who cares? You threw 500 feet.
And it's like the type, and that doesn't diminish it for people who are listening, because the people, like, someone might assume that's 200. You never know what their assumption is, but it always diminishes it for you. Like, if you don't share that, you're always like, they're gonna think I sold 500 and I know I'm lying, or you're gonna think they're gonna think I sold 1 but I sold more. It's always like insidious towards you, of like, I'm gonna share this and I'm gonna leave out some context that I think makes me look bad, or I think makes me look good, and without sharing the full context of it, you're only like depriving yourself, because no one's gonna think about it again.
No.
You're the one who cares.
Yeah, I started Trash Panda with a YouTube channel because I watched other YouTubers, and we've talked about different YouTubers who, like, I watched and I was like, I don't know you. I've never bought a product from you, or they don't sell a product. They just make videos. But I'm like, I've spent so much time with you and I want you to win.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a, like, this guy's doing DIY projects. I have no vested interest in his house, but like, I want him to win. I want him to be successful. I want him to get views because of that. And like, there's people, not companies, but people who I watch, like, and like creators who I have bought stuff from, who have made merch or some other product or something like that. But then there's people who just have never made a product, and it's like, I'm going to watch every video, I'm going to thumbs up it, whatever, because I just want you to win.
Yeah.
And I feel like the comment section skews my view of the consumer, because for probably 6 years I watched YouTube and never even went to the comments, and just was like, I want this guy to be successful.
But when they're talking about you, it's different.
Yeah, well, but on that video, he probably had a negative comment that he was thinking about,
Yeah.
and he wasn't thinking about me, who's the silent majority.
Yeah,
just
100%.
like stoked that he's happy.
Yeah.
And this one person is not happy that he's happy.
Yeah.
That's because they're not happy. Like,
Yeah.
get over it, you know.
100%.
So I like, yeah, I feel like I'm trying to. REI was a really good one for me to go, no, Jesse, stare 12 in the face and say it, because that is the number and that is real. That is where we're at. That's what it was. And that's like, and that's something you 5 years ago would have lost your marbles over.
Yeah.
You would have lost your mind had you known. Like, if you told me in my garage 5 years ago that we were going to sell to REI,
Yeah.
honestly, I would have probably been like, in many ways, I probably would have been like, shut up, I got to get back to work so we can get there.
Yeah.
Like, I would have probably been like, cool, let me get us there. Let me get us there quicker. But then at the same time, I would have been like, no way.
Yeah.
That is just,
I
yeah.
have a question for you then. Is anybody that you've told 12 to had a reaction as negative as you thought that someone would
No,
if
no.
they have told you 12, you know?
Only myself,
Yeah.
you know?
You're like,
Well-
it's like, I think it's, you hedge
Yeah.
it too. At least what I do as a certified professional yapper is like, I'll end up hedging things that I think are like, I'll talk myself out of thinking that something is a solid win.
Yeah.
It's like I just started posting shorts and like a lot on my channel, and I got like 1.2 million views on shorts last month. And I was like, and like, I'd always be like, oh yeah, but it's just shorts. And I post like 1.5 a day. And it's like, no,
That's
sick.
good. Yeah.
Like I made $210 of short form content last month in ad revenue. It's like,
yeah.
like that's so cool to me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's lower than my other rates. It's just shorts. Like people have much bigger channels. And I think honestly, this has opened my mind a little bit more to like how I need to be celebrating more of those smaller wins, because you saying 12 versus how many discs we see in your warehouse right now.
Yeah.
Like 36 discs is nothing to Trash Panda in the grand scheme of things, but it's also, like you said, everything to Trash Panda because of what it is, and allowing it to be everything to Trash Panda is what will make you continue to find joy in this and work towards that next small win.
Yeah. It doesn't pay payroll. It doesn't pay for this building. It doesn't pay for anything. Like, I mean,
the podcast.
yeah, if you guys didn't know, Tony's expensive. His time is worthwhile. So
What can I say?
you're only here because you're paid to be here.
I'm paid per word, so it's
Yeah, I know. Dude, I would be pretty dumb if I signed that contract. No one has had any negative response to that. And honestly, I actually told myself, okay, so REI here bought 12 through their local buying program. And what I've learned since then through their local buyer is that there's two versions of local buy. One is literally locally made or local companies, you buy from them.
Mhm.
Another is if that area is like a hotbed for something, then that local buyer has the right to potentially buy not necessarily something local, but that serves the local community.
cool.
So I learned that because Austin, Texas local buy, Austin, Texas REI now has our starter sets.
No way.
And today, Grand Junction paid,
Wow.
and Bend, Oregon got their test starter set today. And that's all REI, but that's all through their local buying programs.
Yeah.
And we're not local to those other ones. Grand Junction, you can make an argument just being Colorado.
Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
I think 12 for local buy actually is a beautiful number, because if a local company doesn't sell 12 of something, they're not vested.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know back in the garage.
you told me you I went and bought one like last week, and so I'll send you the invoice because last podcast you said that you would
Yes.
pay me back. I'm not actually gonna say those.
No,
You're like, dude, I'll pay you back because you're gonna sell those discs for REI.
of course, I immediately dropped off their first order of 12, and I handed everyone on my team $50 and said, go buy one.
Yeah, you were saying that last podcast.
And take off that shirt that's a trash can shirt and put something else on.
You didn't say that part.
Yeah, it's 100%. Even when I was buying one, I was
Your
just like,
security's getting better. I could see
yeah.
it.
But the thing is, like, if like back when I was in the garage and no one knew who we were, I still knew 12 people. I could still sell out REI of 12 starter sets when I was in the garage. So did we lose money on that first order because I paid my employees? Of course we did. But also they were like, man, that first order sold out so fast. It's like, oh, dang, good to hear. Like, stoked that happened. Like, let's do another one. So they ordered 12, then they ordered 24, then they ordered 48, then they ordered 200.
Wow.
So, like, the success there is past the 12 to me, because the 12 is, I made that happen.
Yeah.
Or we made that happen. And the 200 is like, not only did we make that happen, and maybe the trash man community showed up in Denver at the REI, and we've heard from a lot of people who have said they went out and got it and were stoked, including yourself. But I think people have bought it who just didn't know. And that's the success of it. I'm not interested in the success of me selling out 12. I do think the 12 number makes sense, though, because it's like, if you can't move 12, like, dude, if Austin can't move 12, that's because we didn't tell our people in Austin to show up.
Yeah.
If Grand Junction can't, same thing. If Bend can't, same thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know what will happen with National. I'm not in any like rush for National right now, because any holiday purchasing has happened.
Yeah.
So it's realistically a spring thing at best. So we're looking at like April, May.
Can't be a bad sign for your application, though, that
No, I just can't.
local buy continues to
I just can't
branch
give
out.
them that info. That's not how the application worked.
Really?
So I'm like trying to figure out how to do that, because I'm like, do I just reapply and then put in like, hey, just so you know, call Denver REI to ask them how it went?
How if you just ask the local buy person if they could go up their chain of command to it?
I did.
Yeah.
That didn't get anywhere at the moment.
Yeah.
And I will say, I do want to, like, this is not the most public forum, but I do want to say publicly, like, I have not said anyone's names who are in REI, not because I don't want to shout them out, but because I want to respect them. Like you shouldn't show up asking for Tony, I'm using your name, at REI. Like, I don't want to do, I want to respect their privacy.
Yeah.
But I do, everything in me wants to shout out their names, because I'm like, they're all like,
Dude, such a names guy too. You love names.
The dude, I can tell you the dude's name who I walked in and was like, hey, I'd like to talk to your local buying. And he's like, oh yeah, let me call him down. I can tell you his name, and I want to shout him out.
Yeah.
Because if he was just like, hey, it's not happening right now, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So
that's so cool.
I'm not shouting it out just for his privacy, but yeah. You asked me about names when we were doing the video.
Yeah.
It's just,
you hate that we don't think names are important anymore. Like you hate that we allow it to be socially acceptable to suck at names.
It's socially
exactly
acceptable. It's socially acceptable for everyone to say, I'm not good with names.
Yeah.
And it's like, guess what? No one's good with names unless they try.
Yeah.
And no one's good with anything unless they try.
Do you know like
why
you think it's so important for you? I don't think it's a bad. I'm just curious because it's like
when was the last time
it's someone, a specific thing.
When was the last time someone who you didn't expect to know your name said your name? Like, it's a very special moment.
Yeah.
And especially in a context where you're like, I don't know if they know who I am, but I'm gonna say hi, and then they're like, Anthony,
connection.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Like, that's so special. I like, there's been so many instances in Trash Panda where it's like, I try to lock in those names, and I don't remember my fair share of them, but it's just, let's try. I mean, I just think it's dumb that we've accepted that it's like, oh, I'm bad with names. It's like, okay, cool. I'm bad at running unless I start running, or I'm bad at this unless I start doing this. I'm bad at disc golf. It's like, or you learn, you work on form. Like, at the end of the day, like, I just think names are, in many ways, names are sacred. It's such a special connection. And to know someone's name, it's like, we had a big meeting yesterday with a group of people who came through, and like, I was driving here for the meeting, and I was like, just telling myself, like, remember the moment you shake the first person's hand and they say their name, you will forget unless you
Repeat it.
unless you like are focused. So focus. So the second that first name comes in, focus. And so I made sure to like repeat a couple as it was going, or like it helped because Kelly was a part of that meeting. So I like made sure to tell people like, oh, this is Kelly, this is blank. And I like made sure to repeat it. And it was just like, and then at the very end of the meeting, hour and a half later, I'm like, shake everyone's hand, say all their names. It's just like, it's my like hot take. The bar is super low. The bar is so low. All you have to do is remember a name.
Yeah.
And that makes someone feel like $1 million. I'm going to remember every name I can.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my take on it. Did you see that a chick commented on or posted on a local Facebook group about walking through the round? Okay, so 2 really cool things happened to me while we were together at that round on hole 5.
Yeah.
As you were trying to ace and you were struggling, 2 really cool things happened to me. No, it was really cool because we got to meet a bunch of people. And it was so special. It was so special when someone walked up and was like, Tony, like, you know, obviously they didn't say that. They were like, Bonanza or Anthony. And they're like so stoked to see you. And they're like, no idea who I am. And then there were people who see me and they're so stoked to see me, no idea who you are.
Yeah.
Like, that's so special to me to like remember where we're at and everything like that. There were plenty of people who were stoked about both of us, but 2 people played through who were throwing our discs on that hole and didn't know who I was.
Yeah, that was cool.
And that's really special to me.
It's funny. Jesse just asked, he's like, what disc is that? And she's like, oh, it's an ozone.
What'd she say? Do you remember?
After that, she's like, oh yeah, it's like made out of recycled plastics. I don't feel as bad if I throw it in the water and lose it.
Yes. Yeah. She posted on a local Facebook group saying like, I'm dead. Apparently this happened. I played, said this. 3 holes later was like, that interaction was interesting. And all the guys on her card were like, yeah, that was the owner of Trash Panda.
That's awesome.
One day I'll meet her. If she's watching, tour is open. Come through. Like, that was so special.
And the other guy who didn't know who you were, dude, was Procyon off the top of the basket of the hole I was trying to ace.
Yeah, he skipped off the basket.
For a while.
And I didn't even notice it was a Procyon. You were like, what disc is that?
I saw him throw it, and I was like, that was like a first round Procyon. And I was like, what disc is that? And it was a first round Procyon.
Then it skipped off the top of the basket. He almost aced in front of you on the hole you couldn't ace.
Well, one person did that.
On 5?
On hole 2.
Oh, on 2. Yeah. Their first shot?
Yeah. And then the same group is a group of 5 guys. Hole 3, next hole, ching, different guy, aced.
No way.
And then I stayed on hole 2 for another hour and a half.
Hole 2, I will say my 2 dream aces out there are probably 2 and 6. 2 and 6 would be great. 5 is totally blind. The play is the tomahawk. You're not going to throw a tomahawk because that's going to exhaust you.
Not with the putter. If I had a driver, that'd be perfect.
Dude, I'd throw a tomahawk with the inner core on that hole.
Oh, no, I'm not throwing it 500 times.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to exhaust
I tried it
you.
twice at the beginning of that, and I was like, my arm's already going to break. Let's not speed it up.
Okay. Since you asked the real question, I need to ask you a real question.
Oh.
This is a weird one. I never want to cross.
I don't think you can cross a brown.
No, I know, but I never want to cross hairs, especially with our discs.
Oh.
Like, there's never been any pressure to throw our discs because we're homies.
Yeah.
And like, if there's a disc you like, great. Yeah. But like, you didn't get 18 in 24 hours.
Yeah.
And it was tough, and it's going to be tough going forward. Was it the disc? Like,
no.
What's your thought process there if I was to ask that question?
No, I don't. I think if anything, the only way it could be the disc is if I instead like had a glidey 7 or 9 speed that I could just throw smoother every single time. Because the inner core is super glidey, and I was able to like throw it smoothly.
Like on the longer.
To be honest with you, I don't know. Like, I think it's just I was gonna say dumb. It's not dumb. I think it's just an incredibly challenging thing to go and try to do, regardless of the disc.
Yeah.
And like
you don't.
I'm not the biggest like inner core fan in general. Like over like $1 billion disc. Like I know it's your favorite disc ever. I don't think it's like anything insane for me.
Yeah.
But I actually like the inner core more than I did before I started the day.
After doing it.
Which is not something that you would think after throwing it 700 times and only getting a hole in 110 of them.
Yeah. Well, what? Okay, so
But I do really like that run. I like the stiffness of it. There's like dead straight with a little bit of fade and a lot of glide.
the real question would be like, so what you bag in place of that would be a watt.
Yeah.
If you had a stack of 20, was it 20?
Yeah. Not 17, but it was 20. No one
It got down to 17.
I don't think that would have been any different at all. Honestly.
That's what I want to
No,
know.
I really don't think so. Yeah, I honestly think inner core forehands are also easier, and I got 3 aces of the forehand.
Huh.
But I
Well,
prefer
it's just a
forehand
little
than that.
flick. It's like a ultimate flick.
Yeah, well, I was doing more like a hyzer flip.
Oh,
kind of
were you?
deal. Yeah, I think
That's
it's
crazy.
Just,
I
it's
flick
just
it flat.
It does, but you're throwing 200 feet, so
Yeah.
yes. The wall on this is much flatter for that, so it feels a little better on the forehand. But yeah, I really like. I mean, I have a real ace. Like one of the sentimental discs that I'm keeping is like my 6th or 7th ace ever. Was with one of the first 2 inner cores you ever sent me. I was just playing some random doubles thing in Alabama when I was living in my van. After
Do I know about this?
Probably I told you about it, but it's years ago. So, but I got a
Hey, at least
an
I remembered
ace.
your name.
I appreciate that. But I got an ace in Alabama. One of my I got like 16 like first shot aces or whatever, 15 maybe. And one of them was the inner core, and it's one of the first ones you sent me. So it's sitting in my like
No
special
way.
discs. Yeah.
Blue?
OG.
What?
Like super striated, like
Yeah.
strands all through it.
What course in Alabama?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I have no idea, honestly. But it was.
Where-
I just
do you know
showed
what
up to some
city?
random doubles. No, I don't remember.
You don't even remember what city?
It might have been Mississippi.
Yeah. It was like
It was somewhere deep south, but I don't remember. I can look it up, but
it was North Dakota.
no, but I don't think it's the disc. I think that's funny. I was talking with Tom, and he was like, "Oh, Canyon might have been easier," and I don't think Canyon would have been easier because you throw it a
you
little
would have had
harder.
to throw so hard.
I think like I could choose a disc for every hole, and if I had a stack of 20 of them, it would have been easier than if I tried. But if there's one disc to do it on every hole, I don't think there is a one disc to do it on every hole. The only thing I can think of is like straight mid range, slightly flippy. Like flip up straight mid range might be the best thing to do it because you can throw smooth, but it's still
And
controllable
softer.
like a putter, and you could throw soft, and you could forehand it a little easier. But for a putter, I don't think in general there's
Yeah.
any like markedly better or worse discs almost at all in anything. And I think the inner core is just like for my bag down here at elevation. Now that I've thrown it a billion times, this is in my bag now.
Sick.
Like instead of a watt here, I kept the watt at the mountains. I only have one more of those to shoot for my Course Quest series.
Whoa. What course?
Bucksnort, number 1.
Dang. I've still not played Buckstorm.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's on the list, but I've still not gone out there.
But yeah, I don't think that was a long way to say it's not the disc. It's a me thing.
I mean, yeah, like
I think this run too is. I mean,
good
it
run.
could just be I think it's like my favorite run in general. I mean, I've thrown it a billion times, but it's a lot of inner cores for me come out a little too gummy, and this one has a good stiffness on the flight plate. It's not too stiff. It's still pliable, but it was nice because I threw it. What was great about throwing it for 24 hours, I threw it at 40 degrees and I threw it in 70 degrees.
Yeah.
I just hit both.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. You having done an ace challenge at that course where I just could leave once I aced a hole.
But
When
first
you
time
told
though, for
me
real.
it's the first time, but still.
Yeah.
Took me 89 holes, but that's only 89 throws. And you did more than that by hole 2. I was genuinely impressed with that. That's crazy. I'm really interested to hear what you think of the outer core.
I'm really interested to throw the outer core. Today, it didn't feel as deep as the first one that I felt. I felt it when I first came to pick up the second set of 10 discs.
Yeah.
So I felt it then. Then I felt some today that were later runs. And I don't know if it was just my hands or what, or maybe my hands expanded because when you throw 700 shots, your hands get bigger. But like,
Maybe you're in your growth spurt.
doctor said I can't have one of those. It's illegal. I'm excited to
I
throw
think
it
it
too.
was because the first time was the first time, and now it's just the second time. Because they're the same. Because those ones that are
it's
up
not
front,
different at all.
yeah, the ones up front are just different, like color variations. In the midst of the run, so it's.
I think what it was is I didn't
run.
feel any discs, and I first felt the outer core. This time I felt the inner core and some other discs that were out there, and then I felt the outer core, so I had more of a reference. And so it's like it's the first disc that I hold for the day. kind of
It
thing.
won't be in the video, but the first time I felt the outer core, I was like, I'll take an inner core. Every disc we release, I love this disc so much more. And like none more than the outer core because it's not an inner core,
It's
but
your
it's so
foil.
close.
You can't do it. It's
Yeah, and it's fine.
I think it has to be a brand thing that Jesse hates the outer core.
Maybe.
Not hates, but like
I'm really interested
it
to
can be your nemesis disc because you're such an inner core lover, and that's like the rival.
Dude, whenever I throw the inner core, so I think it's because I don't know that I've ever talked about this in a video. I think it's because I didn't like the inner core when we first made it. I couldn't throw it. I'm not smooth.
Yeah.
We've talked about
So
that
just like
before.
wobble it over.
Yeah, I didn't have that shot. I couldn't throw a disc like that. It was like, give me a pig and I can throw it, but I can't throw this.
Yeah.
And what do you do when you make one disc and that's the only disc you make? Like you're going to throw it. You're just going to keep throwing it. And what I think disc golf needs more of is more people giving their discs time, because not saying like, oh, give this disc time or that disc time, like whatever brand, whatever disc, doesn't matter. Like give it more time, because eventually you can let it open doors for you, as opposed to like, oh, I can't throw this disc, so I'm not going to throw it. It's like, well, what can't you do that you could do if you can throw this disc? And now I'm smoother. I can throw the inner core on, the inner core is my most thrown disc of all of them.
Yeah.
And like, it's just because I had to take time to appreciate it. So I think
that has a lot of corollaries to life, honestly.
Yeah.
It's a big mindset I've been thinking about recently of not what, but how. It's not like, oh, what disc should I throw? It's how can I throw this disc? It's not like what is the disc that fits this slot. It's like if I have the inner core in front of me, it's like, how do I throw this disc?
Yeah.
Like if something's super flippy, it's like there's a way to throw it and make it like actually fly, or if it's super rubber stable, like you can figure it out. But it's like, instead of thinking, oh, more like why or what, it's more like how. It's like it's like figuring it out. It's a little more curious.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing with this, and I definitely agree. As someone who likes to throw a lot of different discs, I think like spending more time with each individual disc is one of the things in the new year that I will, 1, have the bandwidth, 2, have changed my business model to do, and 3, am just excited to actually finally work on. But
Yeah. What's that feeling like to pull a disc out of your bag that you're like, I know without a shadow of a doubt how this disc is going to fly?
Yeah.
Because I've thrown it 1,000 times and I've seen it hit 1,000 different winds.
Yep.
1,000 different, elevations or whatever. It's just like, there's just such a feeling of confidence that comes from it. So I would tell people, regardless of whose disc, it doesn't have to be ours, just give it time, because it's like, it's such a cool experience. And then you just like, you just know when you grab it, you know exactly how you need to throw it. The wind feels different. You still know how you need to throw it because you've thrown it 1,000 times like that.
It's fun too, because you can have that disc, put it on the shelf. Like I'm thinking of a disc right now. I have a Shattered Van Firebird. That's a red one that I've had retired for now probably a year and a half. If I like, it's like one of those special discs that I'm keeping. It's like, I think if I pulled it out, I could go play a 1 disc round with it and shoot 12 under without having thrown it in 2 years. Just 'cause, like, you just know what it's gonna do.
I've felt that with
like
discs
giant.
before. No.
That's like the only disc that I know that's not that's not a transparent one.
I think Wraith for me for years, and the Procyon has obviously kicked the Wraith out of the bag, but the Wraith for me was a disc that was like, I feel it in my hand and I feel home. Like I've thrown this for 12 years straight. Like I know this disc.
Yeah.
And specifically these ones, the giant for me, it's an air giant to be specific. It's not a giant. It's an air giant because it's a super overstable 13 speed, but the air version flips.
Yeah.
Because it always finishes though. So it's light, but it always finishes. So it flips, but it finishes. And that's still a distance. That's like my max distance shot still is a West Side Air Giant. Super random. I've never heard of anyone throwing that disc ever.
Mm-mm.
So if anyone's thrown that disc, shout out.
Seriously.
I'm fighting you on eBay for it. but yeah, I think anyway. The bottom line, the long way around, was I'm really interested to hear your thoughts on the outer core, because it's just a totally different disc. So
Yeah. It feels like a totally different disc. I mean, it's like the same. It's like feels like the DNA, but it's different.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Well, the people already saw the 3D design. I held it up to the camera. So
Well, you showed me first. So
yeah, I showed you and then I held it up.
yeah. That was also 2D. I don't know if you realize, but
Sure.
maybe is that what happened with the mold? You thought 2D was 3D?
I feel like I've said it's been a month when I told you how December went for me.
Kinda.
Yeah, that was 2D. That's a great point.
Oh man.
Here we are. Dude, this is great. This is we'll end where we started. I'm so happy we're doing this, because if any week we weren't going to do this, it was this week. And if any week we aren't going to do it, it's going to be the next time we need to do this. But we'll show up, we'll do it. And then a year from now, we're going to be so stoked that we did it. So
next one, we're going to have to watch the first 5 back.
yes, you had this idea.
Yes, I think because honestly, I don't think I'm going to like me for like a few episodes.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't think you're going to like me. Like, I don't think the audience will have liked me in those episodes. And like, that's okay. But I'm interested in watching them back and us seeing how we've like evolved, and just coming back and being like, wow, this was a crazy kind of riding journey. And of course, talk about last month, but talk about also the full last 6 months and kind of put a little capstone on our project that somehow we did. I'm glad we did it, but with
I know.
how much every single episode we're like, man, I can't believe we're doing this. We are almost there.
I'll tell you what, it was easier than acing every hole at Johnny.
Neither of them are finished yet, so we'll see.
I guess it could have gotten harder after hole 5 at hole 18. I don't know. It's hard to wrangle us down, but this has been so good. And it's like, it's a good reminder too. I exist on pretty large time horizons. I look at things really minutely, but realistically, I'm looking at years when I look at like the company and things like that, and life in general. And so to have this where it's like so much has changed in 6 months is just such a good reminder of how important today is. Just today. And then how important tomorrow is. It's just so,
I think my takeaway from like the 6 months thing is seeing how much can adjust in 6 months when it feels like your life is so compressed and you can't do anything, and still so much is able to change. Like it's inspiring for me to be like, you can continuously reimagine and think again about what the next months and years will be. And like, I wouldn't have anticipated, like I knew I wanted to like grow and change, but I wouldn't have anticipated it would look like this. And then the same thing, hopefully I can say in 6 months versus me today. So
totally.
Definitely agree. Put the final word on it.
Pleasure doing business with you.
So you're paying me now? What the?
I feel like we're...
Per word? Did you sign that contract? I sent it over at the beginning. I never got it. I never got the DocuSign back.
I wasn't nervous about us accomplishing this podcast, but now I am because of what you said about it not being finished yet. So,
oh gosh.
Yeah, one more.
I'm not nervous about it.
When will we do the next one?
First week of December?
Yeah. It'll be December because you're
so
moving mid.
Okay. When are we thinking this comes out? Are we thinking this comes out after Christmas? This episode?
I don't think so.
No?
I think they all come out before Christmas.
All of them?
Yeah. Right? I think the past 6 months should end at the end of the year. In my imagination. What was your thought process?
We're bumping up on the timetable.
When would the last episode air in your...
My only question is when the first episode airs, because everything's a week after that.
Yeah, I know, but like what... Well, because working backwards, though.
Well, working backwards, if the first episode airs next week, then the last episode will air at the end of the year.
this is how people know that it's not monetized. There's no intent behind that here. And it truly was just us talking, because we genuinely did not figure these things out. And we said, if we don't post any of this, it'll still have been worth it because we had this time together.
Definitely.
So it's funny to see even, I mean, I like end of year being end of the season that we had just had.
I also don't hate end of year being the beginning.
It starts in the beginning
It
of the year.
starts on Jan 1.
The best part is that anyone who's listening right now knows more than we do.
That's very true.
They know.
I have like things that I want to say that I don't want to spoil. So depending on when it comes out.
Oh,
That's the only thing. So I'll probably just tell you, and we'll figure out when it comes out later. But I think for our sanity and Chris's workload and whatever, I don't hate starting at the beginning of the year or starting it in the beginning of December. Whichever.
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
It's been a year, man. It's been 6 months.
And it's only been 5, and it's been like 10 months.
Yeah, I think technically we had 7 months to film 6 episodes because we started in June. So it's been 6 months.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Says the guy who called it last December earlier. So at this point, we are just rambling, and I bet Kyle is waiting at the door for his little friends invite only
So there's
putting
probably
league.
15 more minutes
So,
then.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll just keep going all night.
I mean, I got plenty to say. I got plenty of questions. I'm intrigued. What's next for Trash Panda? What's after the outer core? Is it the mantle? That's gotta be your disc. You're gonna have a disc called the mantle.
We talked about today.
What about the crust? Are you guys gonna make the crust?
We talked about, this was not something I ever thought of, but we talked about the middle core today just being like and then I think Kyle called it the Lil core. Obviously LIL apostrophe core. So we'll see if that ever happens.
Superfluous, but yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is. So, yeah. I mean, what's next for us? Honestly, figuring out the scheduling of airing this show. Airing this podcast.
That is the lowest priority thing we could both possibly be thinking of right now. This could come out in 2027 and we both be stoked about it.
Well, we'd have to figure out a new name. Can't be called The Past 6 Months.
No, it can't. We just gotta have one more reprisal.
The Past 6 Months. Asterisk. All right.
Asterisk has to be spelled out though. In parentheses. I think we should end this. That was the worst clap of them all. I hit the microphone.
It's over.
The Lord has spoken. I'm removing. Oh my gosh, we're a little tired, huh?